Hey y'all, so I am back with another video, and this video is really getting a little personal, sharing what I've been doing in the time that I've been MIA. Some of you may know that I have been trying to get a breast reduction for a while now, since I was probably 21 or something like that. I knew since I was younger though, around like maybe 10, 15, I'm not even kidding, that I needed a breast reduction because my boobs were so big at such a young age. Now, I was on my father's insurance up until the age of 26. I will say about at the age of 24 is when I really started getting serious about wanting the breast reduction. So I actually think my mom called my insurance plan to see like what were the requirements, what I need to do, stuff like that to have the surgery approved. And at that point I was kind of discouraged because I'm like, oh my god, it's so much to do just for a surgery. I mean, you can look at me and see that I needed a surgery, I need breast reduction, right? So that was around age 24, 25, and then I called out to my insurance, I want to say around 25, almost 26, because I started to panic, like, oh my god, I'm about to be off my father's insurance. The job that I had at the time wasn't offering insurance, so I'm like what the hell, like what can I do? So at that time I was doing research on finding a surgeon in New Jersey. That's where I live, and I came across a few, but then I was looking at the reviews and they weren't as promising because some surgeons, they do like the lollipop method, or their incisions just didn't look super clean. So I was a little worried about that. It wasn't that much time after I was dropped from my father's insurance that I was able to find my own job who provided insurance, thank God. So I still had Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, and I remember like, okay, I have my own insurance, now I really have to act on it. So I called my insurance plan again. They told me the requirements. When I called, they told me 3 months of PT and that I just needed to find a surgeon, and he would write the letter, he would submit the authorization, boom. They made it seem so simple. So I was like, you know what, like, hell yeah, like I'm gonna go. Found me a physical therapy center that was close by my house. It wasn't too far, it was probably like 20 minutes away. So after work, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. I would say I was 2 months in, and it was something that my therapist said, like, yeah, you have 4 more months to go. So I'm like, what do you mean 4 months? I was told it's only 3 months. I thought I was like almost done actually. And she just was like, you may want to call them again to confirm because I'm pretty sure it's 6 months. I kind of like nixed her off, like honestly. I just was like, she didn't know what she talked about. So anyway, I did my research. I found a surgeon who specializes in breast reductions, I think in Montclair. I went to him, he was well known, his pictures were great, results look great. I did my consultation with him, and I believe I only paid like $70 because they accepted my insurance at that time. So like I said, I went for my consultation. He said that I was definitely a candidate for the surgery, but then he got honest and said, like, however, like with your insurance, they are a pain. And that probably was like the worst thing I wanted to hear. Like, he just went on to say like that there is no getting around those requirements. Like, you have to do the PT, you have to get documentations from your primary doctor, you have to really do everything that they said. Because I'm like, sir, as you can see, like, he took pictures, he looked at my breast and he was like, yeah, like, yeah, you need that surgery bad. So I'm like, well, with that being said, like, can you do something on your end? Because I have seen videos, and like, I'm telling you, I was doing my homework. So I'm on YouTube, on TikTok, just looking at videos, and people are like, oh, my surgeon, he wrote up a letter and the insurance improved it. Oh, I only did 1 month of PT. So I'm thinking like, okay, surgeon, can you do something for me? And just shut it down. Like, unfortunately, I cannot. Again, I was really discouraged, and that's when I called my insurance company again with what he has said and with what my PT has said, I'm like, okay, I need to just call and nip this thing in the bud. I called, and then they confirmed, like, yeah, it's not 3, it's 6 months. You need 6 months of PT, then you need this. I was like, yo, like, what? I thought I was so close that I could taste it. I was so close. I was so happy, like, oh my God, 1 more month, and then your girl about to have surgery. Then it was like, you thought. That really rocked my world. I was, again, distraught, depressed, disappointed, like all those words. Like, I just could not fathom my dream. And yeah, it's a dream. My dream of getting a breast reduction was being shot down. And I know some people probably like, Dara, like, girl, you could do that. Like 6 months of PT, you could do it. And honestly, I could have. I'm not gonna lie. But it's this thing, and unfortunately, I'm being really vulnerable, guys. So I feel like it's normal. Sorry to say it like that way, but I feel like more people experience depression nowadays than they did before, or I would say are more open about depression. I was already going through depression, and like I said, that was like a big disappointment and crush on my spirit. So it further or increased my depression, if that makes sense. And then also, again, it's just so many things that led to my depression, but my job was a big thing. I was commuting back and forth to Jersey City every morning, traffic, headaches. I hated my job. I did not like my boss. I did not like the work. It was just so much going on. So to you and so many other people, probably like 6 months is nothing. Like, I wish I'll do it. It was a lot for me at that time. So I couldn't wrap my head around doing 6 months. I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. For a minute, I just left it alone. And I'm like, maybe it's not so bad. Like, I do have pain. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm like, hunch. I can't really like sit up straight for too long. I try to. I need to get better at that. But I'm like, the pain is whatever. But then the pain, it did not go away. It increased. I did not like how I looked in clothes. Having big boobs prevents you from a lot. And like, those who have big boobs, you understand what I'm talking about. From wearing certain things, doing certain things, like, it gets in the way. Yeah, I was just in a dark place for a while. And then I was like, you know what? If the insurance is not going to pay for it, then I'm going to pay for it out of pocket. And before you start like, girl, you got that money? No, I do not. But I was going to make a way, whether it was taking out loans or whatever. I was going to figure it out. So I had talked to my mom and my sister, and they just was like, yeah, hey, do what you need to do, because they've seen me struggle and want this surgery for so long. So they were just at the point too, like, girl, like, yeah, if you could take out a loan and whatever, like, we support you. So yeah, that was where I stood before finding my new surgeon. Fast forward, that was like 26, 27, whatever. Now fast forward to now, I'm 28. I said I had the mindset now of like, okay, I'm going to pay for out of pocket, whether that's getting a loan or whatever. But now I need to find another surgeon, because that surgeon that I had previously went to go see, he no longer accepted my insurance. So then my sister pointed out, like, well, girl, if you're paying out of pocket, then that don't matter. You can still go to him. But whatever, I was just like over it. I'm like, you know what? Let me just start anew. Like, I don't want to go to the same people or do the same things that I did before, which leads me to my new surgeon. I went back to do my research. I went and looked at pictures. I found her. She's located in Hackensack. If you would like the information, just comment below and I'll give it to you. Ain't no problem. I saw her pictures and I was like, you know what? Let me do a consultation. I did a consultation and they were all just super sweet, super nice. And she just was like, we're gonna go through your insurance. I'm like, oh boy, like, why? So she's like, just hear me out. Like, this is a medical necessity. Like, your breast needs to be reduced. So she did the same thing as the previous doctor did, took pictures, observed it, all that good stuff. So as I'm sitting here, like, I'm looking just like this, like, annoyed, like, come on, lady, just tell me the 6 months, whatever. She asked me, like, did you do PT? And I told her that I did PT probably like 2 years ago. I stopped at like probably 2.5 months. She's like, okay, well, you know, the requirements for Horizon is to do PT, and like, I didn't mean to like come off like, you know, an asshole, but I'm like, yeah, physical therapy, blah, 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 like that. She's like, you only have to do 3 months. As soon as she said 3 months, because my mom came, I looked at my mom, I'm like, mommy, like, did you hear her? She said 3 months, not 6. So I'm like, wait, are you sure? Because I've called, I even called literally like maybe 2 weeks or a month before I went to her, the consultation, and they told me again 6 months. Like, they listed out so many things. So I'm looking at her like, lady, come on now, don't lie to me. So she's like, no, like they actually just changed it. My appointment, I believe, was in August, and she told me like probably that previous month, July, that they had changed the requirements. Now I'm like, I wanted to cry. Like, I wanted to cry, really, because here I am, like, I was set on going in debt or whatever, paying out of pocket just to get this surgery, and here I was being told that I didn't need to do that. So it was like reassurance, and I was really happy. She went on to say I needed 3 months of consecutive PT, a letter that she would provide to the insurance, and I would need a letter from my primary doctor stating that I tried over-the-counter pain medications, sports bras, and again, the consecutive therapy, and that they think the surgery is really needed for my condition. Then I met with the surgical coordinator. She just told me, like, you don't have to push yourself. You can go once every week. Just make sure it's every week, it's consecutive. It's like, as soon as I left there, I called a place that my mom used to go to, and that actually went by. I changed the location since I moved. My insurance approved the PT. I did about 4 months of PT as of today. Now I just need the letter from my physical therapist, the letter from my primary doctor, and submit that all to the surgical coordinator, who would, you know, do their part and submit an authorization for it. God's willing, it will be approved. I don't know, like, I'm just so happy. I'm happy that it's finally here. Like, I can now really taste it. I did PT, I didn't miss a day, and now it's the waiting period. My PT, he's getting married, so I have to wait like 2 weeks for him to come back, and he would write the letter, give me the progress notes, so I can fax it over to my surgical coordinator and get this ball rolling. She did tell me that I can expect an appointment sometime in February, which is my birthday month. So if it is during my birthday month or after, whatever, I don't care. It's just the fact of, like, I actually went through it this time, and I can potentially be getting my breasts reduced. Like, that's going to help relieve a lot of stress, and all that, like, negativity is just gonna, like, it's really gonna help me a lot. I really do need the surgery, not only because my breasts are big, and when I was at my heaviest of 245, like, they were bothersome but not that bad. It wasn't until I lost the weight, and now I am 187, and it just feels like I'm being weighed down. Like, you guys can see, probably watching this whole video, of like me keep trying to adjust. It's very heavy. My back hurt when I go to sleep. Like, I'm waking up, I have to crack my back. I am working out and trying to do all that still to stay in shape, but it is a struggle having big breasts. With this breast reduction, it really will relieve, like I said, a lot of just day-to-day activity. So I'm sorry to have talked so much. I hope I gave y'all some information. Oh, before I forget though, okay, so this was effective since March 14th, but my surgeon had printed out the paperwork in July. So I don't know if you guys can see. Pretty sure if you guys were to Google the title of the article, pretty sure it would come up. And if you were like me, who almost gave up, I'm just here to tell you, do not give up. Like I said, get that information. If you are in New Jersey and you have the same insurance as me, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield, go back to them, ask them if they are adhering to the new requirements, which I'm pretty sure they have to, because it's the policy. Make sure that they are aware of the new change, and go and get your breasts reduced. Like, get that surgery, girl, because I know I'm trying to. I know I need it and I want it, so hopefully I will get it. And I'm going to keep y'all updated on this journey when I get the letters, when I submit everything. and to the point of just waiting to see if it's approved. Once it's approved, it'll be surgery day, and I'll be documenting all of that, like surgery day, the supplies, all of this. I am just ready for this change. I need this change. I want this change. So, and yeah, I think that's really it. That's a part of what's been happening behind the scenes, and stay tuned for the rest.